believe another Friday is here? Man, time these days just goes so fast. But good to be back. Feels like a really slow week. Kind of ironic to say that, as I also just finished saying time goes so fast. But slow week, fast week, slow week at work. Let's just put it that way. But Friday is here. I'm excited for that. The weather cooled down and is now heating up. We're coming into Mother's Day. And yeah, it's just so hard to believe that May is here again. Anyway, I hope everybody had a good week. Did you do anything fun? I gotta tell you, I actually went to bed early every night this week, which is amazing. I got my hair done, cut and color by Hair by Holly. Love her. Always so good to catch up, have discussions that make me laugh and cry. Yeah, so that was awesome. Also, it would have been last week. I don't know if I mentioned it. I think last week we talked a lot about the cruise. But was it this week? No, it was last week. Did a bunch of service opportunities for the, we call it Pure Good Foundation. It's a service, I don't know how else to say it, a portion of our company, and I'm part of what's called the Pure Good Leadership Council. And so we wrapped up Earth Month, which was great, by putting together some solar light charging stations for the homeless or unhoused community. It was really fun. That first one was a little challenging to put together, but once we got the hang of it, we cranked through over 70 of them, which was awesome. So yeah, through the week we had 4 service projects. First one was assembling feminine hygiene kits, which is something I am super passionate about, something that impacts 50% of the population, yet it's still something we are ashamed to talk about, and I don't really know why. It was interesting. I promise I hope I'll get to the rest. You know me, I'll probably forget about it. But I read a post on LinkedIn that talked about employers having feminine supplies in their restrooms to help avoid embarrassment of women in the office as they needed to take pads or tampons in, and the embarrassment that can come with that. And I just had a moment where I was like, why are we still embarrassed? Why are we not talking about this more? It's kind of, I don't know if it's generational, but it's nice that we are finally starting to, I hope, maybe is it because I'm older and I just am frustrated that we don't talk about. There are so many health impacts to women that we continue to not understand, because all the health studies, it feels like, are done on men. I don't know if that is true anymore, but sometimes it feels like it. Anyway, so that was one of them. And again, we did the solar lights. And we did an e-waste campaign for the people in our office, provided bins for them to take care of their e-waste, and then we did a cleanup of our office park area. So yeah, it was a successful month. And the thing that I love is, oops, see if I can get that. I don't know if I can. Is because of this foundation, for every hour you volunteer, you get $10 to donate to a charity of your choice. So it's the time of year where I watch Friends of Big Bear Valley on YouTube, and Jackie and Shadow are the eagles. Of course, they're, eagles. Gotta love eagles if you're from Philly. And they named the kids in that community named their eaglets. It was Luna and Sandy, I believe, are the names they selected. So I love watching them in the late winter, early spring as the eggs hatch and the new babies continue to grow and develop. And now the area where their nest is, it looks like is going to be under development. So this group, the Friends of Big Bear Valley, is trying to purchase the land. And I was really excited to be able to donate my money to them. So for me, it was just a great all around feel good, do something, contribute something to the world around us. So yeah, that was one of the things we did. And had a couple brainstorming sessions of other service opportunities that people would like to do. So yeah, that was fun. Of course, Star Wars Day was this week, and followed by Cinco de Mayo. So had to do some activities with that. We did trivia throughout the day and giveaways, and I set up a beanbag toss since our company underwent a name change. We had some old swag that we were going to donate to our teams. And one of the things we had were, do we call them light swords? Because the other is copywritten. I don't know when we can say things and when we can't. Oop, hang on, see? Got more of this. Okay. So that was fun. And then also had a ton of Star Wars Pez dispensers. So gave those away, and Star Wars ring pops. And then yeah, food truck. We'll do a little name drop shout out for our favorite taco truck, which is Jurassic Tacos. We had them come on site, and it was, it's May, obviously, the 5th of May, and it was very cool outside, and I was watching the skies because it looked like it was going to open up anytime, and I just kind of sat there silently praying that while we need the rain, please, for the 1 hour while the food truck is here, please, please, please hold off. And it did. At 3:01, when their time slot wrapped up, it started raining, and I just was so grateful. Tacos were incredible, as they always are, and that was really successful. And then Wednesday, we did a really big giveaway of the old swag. It was fun to reach out to some of our teams that don't get as much swag and be able to bring them into our little storeroom and get them kitted out. That was great. And let's see, yeah, I got my hair done. Oh, also, it was the Met Gala this week. I know it is, I don't want to say it's a waste of an hour. Some people, not even an hour, waste of an evening. But I love watching the arrivals of what people are wearing. This was a really good theme. So I thought there would be some awesome outfits. And the theme was fashion is art. And as I was watching one of the live streams that Emily D. Baker did, there were people, who were talking about the cost of the tickets and I know that you can buy tickets, but I still believe you need to be invited. Okay, let's bring this over here. Look, everybody, we are done with this section. I don't think we'll be finishing it this week. Probably we might get to here and then, oh my gosh, look up here. If we finish this, it's the state of Utah. Oh, that's great. Okay, we'll try to get to here. In fact, let me just do a quick line across, and that's what we'll try to get to. But okay, sorry, I know, just kind of all over the place. You can get tickets if you are invited are $100,000 each. $100,000. So the discussion that Emily Baker had on her channel was, if you had $100,000, what would you spend it on? She had just kind of joked that it would not be wearing very uncomfortable heels in an outfit that she probably couldn't sit or eat in and walk up very challenging stairs. And that her purchased item for that amount would be a Sprinter van and spending a summer seeing concerts. And it really made me think. I posed the same question to a coworker. I was going to, in fact, I might do that this afternoon. I got busy with swagging people out yesterday. But posed to all my coworkers, what would you do? If you had $100,000, what would you do with it? And this isn't responsible spending. This is, granted, I do understand that the Met Gala is a fundraiser. So I know it's not just, free spending. It does go towards something, which is great because I have not seen in person, but I've seen videos of the exhibits that they do there, and it's incredible. So I'm grateful for that. But anyway, what would you do? So my coworker said she would go traveling. Like, that's how she would spend her money. And I don't know what I would do with mine. I initially was thinking responsibly and be like, okay, I'd pay off debt towards my house and then, I don't know, kind of jokingly said, and I would get lots of diamond art. But I think I liked her answer of travel. I've enjoyed, I was going to say getting back into concerts, but in all honesty, I only went to probably 3 concerts when I was in high school. I saw Genesis, James Taylor, and Paul Young. I think he was the opener for Genesis, so I saw them. in concert, and that was great. And so it might have been a year or two ago, I just kind of went, we are empty nesters now. Well, okay, theoretically, we don't have any more teenagers, so we are in that age where we are sort of pseudo empty nesters. And I started buying tickets to concerts, a band I always wanted to see growing up. So we saw Styx and we saw Journey, and dream come true. We went to Vegas and saw Billy Joel. We saw Sting, and Foo Fighters. All of those were absolutely incredible, and I loved every second of it. So, oops, my cover sheet. Sorry for that noise. And so I loved the combination of the travel and concerts. So that would be fun. I do think I would for sure do a really nice cruise. Probably one of the, I haven't investigated them a lot, but I understand there is a combination cruise and railway tour of Alaska. I think I would really like to do that. Maybe one of the river cruises in Europe, but I just read a Consumer Reports article ranking cruises, and it is something we had looked into. Obviously, I just got back from a cruise, and it talked about what the highest ranked, just so you know, was, I think it's like National Geographic Explorer. I mean, obviously, these are people who are going for the expeditions. They were, like, the cost was $10,000 or more per person. So yeah, I would hope that it's really incredible. But again, the pictures they showed of the people, sorry, I gotta adjust some of these. The people on the cruise, they were all bundled because obviously they were going to Antarctica. Let me say that a little more clearly. The next, I think, was one I hadn't heard of. And I don't have the article handy. I'd say, I'd look on my phone, but my phone is recording right now. And the last one was Viking, which is the one I was thinking of for a European river cruise. But when I was reading about it, it was sharing some of the quote-unquote amenities that come with each one. I believe I mentioned that I had gone on a Carnival cruise, and the amenities included on Viking were lectures. Y'all, if I am going on a cruise, the last thing I want to do is spend time in lectures. Now, it could be that word just connotes, illustrates, don't know. Probably got all my words mixed up there. A lecture of school or parents. When you misbehave, your parents lecture you. So I have an image of me being a little girl in the living room getting lectured. I know it's educational and it's learning things, but I'm gonna turn this because I'm gonna go the other way. But the word lecture kind of really put me off. I have done some looking into that cruise, and it does look amazing. It doesn't have a whole lot of people. We may have to come. Let me finish this row. And then we're going to come up from the bottom because since I took the cover sheet off. Now everything is getting stuck there. But I want to attempt to finish this. Let's see. How are we doing? Can I do it in 10 minutes? Maybe. We'll just have to do our best. So I think I'll still look into it. Gosh, there were so many cruise lines that I had not heard of that were included in this and got really decent ratings. Now, Carnival was in the bottom 3, and I think it's just kind of, what are you looking for? And the cruises I have gone on have been inexpensive. So, for example, the one we just did was, I think it was 6 days, and it was $500. That did not include the 2 excursions we did, or the parking garage. So they had estimated a little over $1,000. I would say that's right. Gosh, gas in California was very expensive, so that raised the cost there, having to fill up the car we drove in. And then parking was almost $200. So yeah, that was a little expensive as well. So yeah, but I thought the food was okay. It was plentiful. There was lots to do. And it really made me think about what am I looking for in a cruise? And what is I'm trying to think of the right way to say it. What are my expectations? So I feel like I'm a pretty low-key, chill person. I don't think I'm high maintenance. I think I probably used to be more high maintenance than I am now. So I don't expect anything. I'm just so excited that I don't have to cook anything. I don't have to clean anything. Somebody shows up in my cabin, which I've just learned how to have them not do that. And not because I don't think they did a great job, but I felt bad that somebody felt like they had to come in and clean my room every day. But somebody comes in and tidies up my room every day, and there's entertainment. Plus, gosh, you know what I want to do? I want to watch people do karaoke all day long, and I want to read my book when I want. I want to, obviously, diamond art and sit outside and get a tan. Like, those are the things I want to do. And so my husband and I were talking about the possibility of doing an Alaska trip. And he was like, well, you're probably not going to get a tan. And I was like, it'd be totally fine. I don't care as long as I still have downtime. Like, that's really what it comes down to. And who are the people or person that I am with? And do I want to be with them? And I would really, this is good news, folks, because we've been married almost 40 years. Yeah, I would want to do that with him, because to me, it's the company. I'm pretty chill, and I'll go do whatever anybody wants to do. Do I have things I like? Obviously. I just mentioned them. Oh my gosh. Okay. I'm not doing great with my alignments this way. I was doing it much better the other way. I wonder if I could do it upside down. Anyway, yeah, sorry, got way off topic. Talked about a lot of things. We're like, whoa, how did we get here? We got from Earth Month to cruising to all these things. Women's health. Yeah. Welcome to how my brain works. I don't know if anybody else feels like that, but my brain is all over the place. I had a doctor's appointment this week and almost brought somebody into the room with me because I was like, oh, if they tell me anything, I don't know if I'm going to remember it. So there were a few key things that I needed to remember. I was like, I'm going to write these down because that's the only way. So thank you, iPhone and the Notes app. I'm sure there's a Notes app on Android as well. So thank you, phones, for being able to be our brains. I appreciate it. But yeah. So, it's a great couple weeks. I would say I've had a wonderful month behind me. And now we are heading into the hotter part of spring, which I really don't love. I don't like anything above, let's say, 70 degrees. So we're heading into that. I was excited because, here's our weather report. Everything, we had it really, really hot, and then it cooled off and it got rainy, which is awesome. And now as we head to Mother's Day, I think it's going to be 80 degrees. Boo, boo, boo. But in southern Utah, I think it's going to be almost 100. So, hey, I'm excited for Mother's Day that I am not in St. George, where it is 100 degrees. I will take 80 if I had a choice. But, okay, to Mother's Day. So, what do you guys do for Mother's Day? My mom has passed, so has my mother-in-law. My bestie, who has commented on here a couple times, and I'm so grateful for her. She sets this incredible example, and she reaches out to the moms of her daughters-in-law and thanks them for raising the daughters that they are. So I try to do that every year. I think she also sends some flowers. You'll have to correct me. I don't remember if she sends her daughter-in-laws flowers as well as the moms, or just, anyway. Whatever it is, it's an incredible example. And so every Mother's Day, I reach out to the mothers of my daughters-in-law. Holy smokes. And this year for Father's Day, I get to reach out to my son-in-law's mom and stepmom and say Happy Father's Day to them for raising such an incredible son, who is the father to my beautiful granddaughter. Gosh, she is just light, sunshine, joy, everything. She's everything. We got a picture of her this week wearing this adorable robe after a bath. My gosh, I made it my background so fast on my phone. I should really probably have other things. Nah, why? Why should I? It's too good to not look at every single time I look at my phone. So yeah, that makes those really exciting this year. And my dad is still around. In fact, that was another thing that happened. He turned 94 this week. 94! Isn't that incredible? He continues to do really well. He misses my mom every day. Every time we talk, he always brings her up, and I know he misses her terribly. But yeah, he seems to be a healthy 94-year-old man. And so I need to be thinking about Father's Day for him this year. I kind of posted, we have a really big group family chat with my siblings and their kids, and Okay, I'll just throw in here. Those of us who have Apple phones, iPhones, because it's much easier. Does that sound exclusionary? Maybe it is, but that's what we do. And I had put in there, I was like, what does a 94-year-old man want for his birthday? And everybody just kind of chimed in with their silly answers. So that's kind of up there with one of the earlier questions. If you had $100,000, obviously much different budgets, what would you want to do, or what would you buy? Or so for Father's Day, I mean, it's the same sort of thing. What does a 94-year-old man need or want for Father's Day? He is a voracious, I can't even, more than I've ever seen from another person I've ever met, reader. He, in our hometown library, hometown in Pennsylvania, he read everything in the library. I'm telling you, everything. And so it was great timing, because then the Kindle was invented. So I believe one of my sisters bought him a Kindle, and then we all just kind of get him gift cards so he can continue to read and get books. But then I think Kindle Unlimited was, I was going to say invented. That's not a thing. That subscription service came into play, and he got that and reads nonstop, because that's what he does. He watches sports and he reads, and I think that keeps him going day to day. He does exercise. I think has a class he goes to. Let's see, how are we doing? Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. We are over. I'm trying to wrap this up. I'm going to get this section done. I'll go as fast as I can. Well, okay, no, I'm not, because if I do, inevitably I'll have to redo that. But now that I have most of this done, I can go this way. Hopefully that will make them a little straighter. But yeah, so things coming up next week. You know what? I had mentioned a doctor's appointment, and that I'd been waiting to do. So that's a done, out of the way thing. And I think I'm heading into a nice, quiet period of time. We have, I do get to pre-film for next week. My husband and I are heading to Moab, Utah, to do, I think they call it a rodeo, a Bronco rodeo. He has a Bronco vehicle, and we are going to go learn how to use it, how to have the most fun we can with it, especially the model we have, which is the Sasquatch package. So we are going to do that next week. I'm excited. Drag race wrapped up, and we took a couple week break. Not me from girls' night with the granddaughter, though. Heaven forbid we don't do that. We just found other things to watch. And so that starts up this week today, which is very exciting. And so I'll get to pre-film. Kind of glad the cruise gave me a lot of experience with that, so I know how to do it. Hopefully it uploaded okay. I had checked previous weeks and it seemed to go without a problem. And that's pretty much it. So we have that. Oh, rats, look at that all peeled off. Okay, we just have to get through a couple more. We'll wrap up our service at the temple this month, and then we have Saturday's back, and I have a lawn that is screaming for attention. Does that just mean I'm lazy on Saturdays, even though we have served in the middle of the day? Could I have gotten up and done it? Yes. Did I? No. So now, effective, I believe it's the 29th. I think that's the last Saturday. After that, I have no more excuses, and it's back to lawn work for me, but that also means it's back to getting a tan. And on that note, we did it, folks. Look, we finished this whole part. I know we had some of this done, so look what we did. Next time, it will be a short one because we're just going to finish this section, and this one is done. I have my next one, which I believe is a donut that we're going to work on. So maybe next time I'll have that kitted up and ready to go. I hope you have a great week. See you next time. Bye.